What a beautiful day it is to be in the panhandle of Florida and to celebrate the game of baseball. Perfect Game TV presents the championship game of the 2025 Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. At this gorgeous complex at Publix Park, we celebrate the beginnings of the 2025 season. Perennial championship team always going to the JUCO World Series. Chipola, the Indians, and their rivals in-state, Indian River. They are off to an incredible start this year. Chipola having one loss in this tournament, and for Indian River State, they have been dominating. They are a perfect 3-0, and certainly glad to have you with us. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, as one of those pieces of hardware will be handed out. And Steve, as we take a peek at how Chipola got here last night with a big win on this beautiful day, it was a lot of offense. Chipola really flexed. Coach Johnson's team was strong. Certainly the pitching that they needed and some great late game pitching. But I think what stood out about yesterday's Chipola game was that offense. Three-time national champs. What are your thoughts on what you saw with the Chipola College squad?
Yeah, no question. They came right out of the gate. Remember, they were 1-1 going into the game yesterday evening, and they came out and, man, did they swing the bats. And Miguel Hugas in the game had 3 hits overall, including a home run. They got clutch hitting in this one. They got sacrifice flies. They moved runners over. They worked the count. And, man, they flexed the muscles. Some big-time power. Hugas with the home run, as I mentioned earlier, and they really slugged the baseball. Nick Croce as well went deep in the game yesterday, and it was all offense. And so 3 runs in the first, 5 runs in the second, and they tacked on others throughout the course of the game. A 13-6 win yesterday for them.
Yeah, you were on the call the other day when it was a victory of Indian River State College and an 8-0 win over Wallace Dothan. They've kept winning ever since. Jeff Johnson, more than 500 wins. He's a Hall of Fame coach at Chipola. Steve talked about Hugas. He's been big. We get a chance to see Zayed Diaz in there now. There's a power component with Sam Parker that's excited to see. Derek Gonzalez played the second half of the game behind the plate, and that's a peak as we get this game going. It's really a fun matchup of these two teams. And again, the season starts early. That's the best way we know. We look at Division I, but it's not Division I. It's junior college baseball. Meet sophomore Michael Malone. Malone gets the call, and he'll go to work on the mound, the right-hander. And you really look at depth at this point, Steve. Malone out of Lake Worth, Florida. Those with the deepest pitching staffs, when you play multiple games in a day, when you play 5 games within a 3-day span, that's who wins. The deepest pitching staffs usually win.
They certainly can. Now, Malone has appeared in 2 games so far and has gone 2 2/3 innings, only given up 1 hit, 3 walks, but 5 unearned runs. He has not given up an unearned run yet, so they had a bit of a sloppy day behind him in one of his outings, but looking to get out there, pitch the contact, let the defense get the job done behind him, and he is a guy they have big expectations for this year.
So that tells me, Steve, if he's already twirled it a couple of times, there's a ceiling on how deep he will pitch. I mean, if you're his head coach in this sense, you're maybe hoping to get 3 or 4 quality out of him on the high side.
Yeah, my guess is that the first outing that he had came prior to the tournament. They're 7-0 right now, Indian River. So, they've won the first 3 games of the tournament here, but they had 4 wins coming in. And so, he got some work early on. And so I don't know that they have to limit him because it sounds like that the last outing he had, he got knocked out early. So maybe he didn't throw that many pitches, and he can go, a good 3 or 4 innings in this one.
Luke Williams will lead things off again. That contest Steve was talking about yesterday was 13 runs, and it was a must-win game. If they didn't come out on top and score a bunch of runs and limit on the other side, they would not have advanced to this championship game. There were a handful of teams with just a 2-1 record. Well, we're glad to have this for you. It is a gorgeous Florida day. And, of course, Panama City Beach has been a wonderful host to us each and every year for this event. And this complex, 160 acres, is sparkling bright. The pride of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Luke Williams is ready to roll. And let's play this title game as a big right-hander rocks and fires. We are underway. A zippy fastball, and 0-1 the count on Luke. One and one. Williams from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Baseball country, his travel team. Wants to add, we talked about this yesterday, Probably a dozen more pounds or so throughout this year if he's able to, once to get a little bit stronger.
Patience at the plate, taking that high fastball. Good contact hitter. His job, get on base, set the table for the power bats in this lineup.
Williams has opened the season aggressive, 7 hits and 25 at bats as he takes over the inside corner. 2-2 the count. Doesn't walk much, doesn't strike out much. He brings a bat to home plate, simply put, to use it. Good eye, 3-2. A lot of life on that fastball. It jumps at the plate.
Yeah, the initial look from behind, he reminds me of Brady Singer a little bit, traded from Kansas City to Cincinnati.
Fastball, and there's that life. There's that jump as he pounds his chest one away.
The high fastball and got a little extra velocity on it, running it up in the zone. He missed down, changing the hitter's eye level, getting Williams to chase that one. It looks so good, but so hard to get on top of and drive.
Boy, we saw Miguel Hugo shine yesterday, and that's what we'll show you at the bottom of each graphic, what they have done on the weekend. This is a talented switch hitter and also a member of the pitching staff. 13 overall at bats, 4 hits on the season. There's the first look at a slider. 1-1 the count to the man out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Shaler Area High School. As we said, he'll start for this team. He's a switch hitter for this team. He is a versatile, really talented athlete. Held on to that one, 2-1.
Just a bit outside, or inside, I guess. Our friend Bob Euchre, tip of the hat. I'm sure he's calling games up in heaven right now.
We're glad to have him join us alongside at any point with the smile he would bring to all of our faces. Boy, that fastball does have Giddy up, 2-2 the count. Hugas late. Played his travel ball for the Midland Redskins, this hitter. 3-2.
You know, he threw kind of the same pitch to Williams, kind of up and away, but then he came back with a high fastball for the strike 3. Let's see if he does it again, and let's see if Hugas was paying attention to what he did to Williams.
That's exactly where he went. He just spoiled it. Inner part, late jump. It's a real high spin rate fastball. Pulls the hands in, rocket shot. Look who's on the move. More extra bases. Number 20 touches the bag, takes a look at third because he's on his way. The relay into third. He's in there with a triple with 1 out.
Well, got the 3-2 fastball, fouled off the first one, and then rips that one right there. It didn't take a monster swing at it. He knew he wanted to put it in play, make contact. Got it down the right field line. Some difficulty for Matty Davis picking it up in right field. I love how Hugas rounding first, going to second, picked up his third base coach, got the signal, waved him around to third. He's in with a triple.
So now Malone with his hands full with the runner on third, where a ground ball out, a fly ball, puts Chipola up 1-0. He's seeking, hunting a strikeout, a really uncomfortable contact as he zips a fastball over the inside corner to first baseman J.C. Vanek. Hands held back behind the helmet. Vanek 7 of 17 to open the season as he takes low and inside. Not only does he have 7 hits, JC, but expect patience. He's got 10 walks as well already on the year.
I saw that. That's crazy. Great eye and plate discipline. Had a little difficulty yesterday with the left-handers, but had some good hacks against the right-handers.
Fouled it right off that lead foot. 1-2 the count.
I did a double take when I saw the 10 walks, thinking it's a lot of at-bats already, but you know, they have scored some runs but 17 at-bats, 7 for 17 with 10 walks. That's pretty good on base percentage right there.
He's got on base, Steve, to your point, about 65% of the time. Did he? Did he? Yes, he did. Oh, that is such a tempting pitch, and that's strike 3.
Hitters always love to ask the other umpire for help on that one. But you know what? He did go. I wasn't sure on the fast full speed, but I think his bat did go past the plate there. I think they got it right. Nice job by Nate Starr behind the plate.
Diaz, 15 at-bats to open the season. He's got 4 hits. He's got a couple of walks, been on base 6 times. As the slider to the left-handed hitter is just outside. 1-0 the count to Diaz.
His parents with a sense of humor, Zayad is Diaz backwards.
Back to the screen it goes. I love the things your eyes pick up. I'm just going to go right there. I think it's wonderful.
I mean, Zayad spelled backwards is Diaz. It's Zayad Diaz. I love it. I mean, that's really good job by mom and dad right there. I love it.
Nearly got him. Nearly clipped him with that one. He's from Miramar. Tulani is his mom. George is his dad. And those are the folks that get the credit. I mean, if you're talking sense of humor, mom and dad get the credit.
Yeah, or blame, however you want to look at it. It's interesting for Malone. When he misses, he's missed big out of the zone where it's not really a decision for the hitter, but then he can come back and make a perfect pitch to get to the siding pitch in the at-bat.
Like that, 3-2. He likes to get right up against the flames, see if he can touch him with his fingertip, and then back right out.
Yeah. Got to try to strand that runner on third base. Be a big out right here if he can do it.
He tried to make that same pitch and tempt the hitter with a rising fastball. That's a great eye by Diaz.
Yeah, good at bat. Jake Weatherspoon behind the plate did a nice job trying to frame that pitch, pulling it back in the zone. But Nate Starr, the home plate umpire, I think he got that one right. I think Malone wanting that pitch, but it was inside.
Sam Parker already with 7 hits to open the year. You see what he has done at this event. Parker gets on it the first time, takes a wild hop, of playing right behind. Is there a play? Everybody's safe. And a run will score. It took a bad hop. Parker had taken a turn on the interior of the bag, so they try to pop a tag down on him. Chipola leads it 1-0.
I'm not so sure it was a turn as it was trying to avoid a collision with Nico Lopez at first base. The ball took kind of a funky hop over Lopez, but good job by Lucena getting behind him. And then Lopez coming across there. I think that he was really just trying to avoid, and the collision put him into fair territory.
You're right.
But I don't know that I would have looked at it as a turn. I think that the first base umpire, the base umpire, Kerry Day, got that one right.
Yeah, he got that one right on. Our umpiring team already with some calls to make. They have a quick conversation about it. Steve, you're exactly right. He spun on the inside. He actually was knocked down by the incidental contact. Parker, we've been enjoying the presence and the power as he stands at first now. He was a Minnesota Twins 19th round draft pick in 2023, originally a Mizzou commit. Wow, they're going to make that call. They're going to count the run. They're going to call him out. And, Steve, I'm with you on this one. You saw it the right way. That's a tough call to make. That's a tough out to hang on Chipola.
It is. He was running down, and obviously the collision at first base caused him to go into fair territory, but he made no attempt to start to make a move to go to second base in any way. I didn't feel.
All right, so they'll turn it over. Take a look one more time. Here we go, Steve.
Yeah, so the ball hops over Lopez's head. Nice job by Lucena. Now, he stumbles into fair territory, but that's not an effort to make a turn. That's just, unfortunately, the collision at first base leading to it. But they do get a run in and 1-0 lead.
You're going to have to be strong.
I believe you gotta rise before you can shine. That there is no agony worse than defeat.
The question is, does he have the bat speed? Does he have what it takes?
And an angel watches over me.
And swing. Just keep swinging. Just keep swinging.
I believe this will all be worth it.
And the next pick in the 2024 draft is...
Beautiful white sandy beaches of Panama City Beach, Florida. And, of course, this complex, a wonderful host to this great event. It's the championship game of the Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. And a large junior college at nearly 15,000 students, Indian River State down in Fort Pierce, winning their conference last year. And they're moving in this game, and they are moving into this championship game. This is the game we talked about. It was an 8-0 win over Wallace Dothan. Javi Miranda was strong. There was timely hitting. Jason Lashley's had a big event. He played at a pair. There was power in this event, too. A blast by Michael Lucena. A 2-run home run in that game. And it was an 8-0 rolling. As a matter of fact, they would go on victorious in each and every game in which they have played. Not only that win, but then a win over Meridian and a win over Northwest Florida State. From the Torrey family, a great baseball name, their head coach, Frank Torrey Jr., leading this program. There's some hits, too. I mean, there are some hits in this lineup that we will tell you about. Freddie Bervides is the foe. He gets the assignment, the sophomore and a talented left-hander. We're excited to see how deep he can go into this game. I'm looking forward to seeing what Freddie has, hoping that they would choose him for this contest today. So away we go with Brett Patton leading it off.
Yeah, for Freddie, a bit of a tough start. 3 innings, 6 hits, and 5 runs so far. So looking to get himself back on track again.
From Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, high fastball way inside. It nicks Brett Patton, the center fielder. So Patton had a couple of hits already in this one with a couple of walks. He gets on base for the 5th time in this tournament.
Coming up and in right there and just couldn't get out of the way. And no significant harm done, but a runner on first base now.
Ready to roll. Hot shot. Left field. Not waiting around. This is Matt Lashley as he lashes one into left field with a base hit. Lashley picking up his 2nd hit of this event.
The Lashley brothers can swing the bat. Matt Lashley, the shortstop, with the base hit right there, and his brother Jason, who's DHing today, really has a good swing as well. Mom and Dad have done a great job working on their swings. They are quality hitters, and they do that. They have a really good comfort level of driving the ball the other way.
And this man can drive it a ton. 7 hits in 3 games for Jake Weatherspoon. That's right, 7 for 11. 4 runs scored. 1 of them a double, 6 of them a single. He's stolen a base as well. 2-0. Boy, they've got some energy in that dugout early, the Pioneers.
They do. Yeah, they do. They came out of the gates in their first game. They put up runs early, and it's been sort of the trademark of this early 7-0 run to the season.
That's a 2-0 hack. Why not get cheated? Weatherspoon out of Melbourne Beach, Florida. Played his travel ball as a 2023 grad of high school with the Scorpions organization. Popped up, right side, back of first, hanging in fair territory. J.C. Vanek puts the first out away. Runners stay put.
Well, there's no break in this lineup, though. Michael Lucena coming up right here. We showed the power in the game the other day, followed by Jason Lashley. So 2 runners on. Now, we did see Indian River start the runners with runners on first and second in that first game here in the tournament.
Lucena with 7 hits in 9 at-bats in this event. 7 for 9 with the homer. He's got 4 RBIs as well. Nearly got him way inside. From Venezuela. His plans are go to Bethune-Cookman. He's made a commitment there or get drafted after this season. We'll see where it takes him. He shoots that one toward the alley in right center field. Diving attempt out there. What an incredible play that was. Looking for a double play. Big play in the outfield by Chipola for a second out. That ball was hit hard.
Absolutely. Zaya Diaz out in right field gets a good jump on it. Hugas hits a liner there, sinking line drive, and making the great jump, direct angle to the ball, getting up quickly, throwing in, trying to double the runner off second base, and Patton not able to do it. So 2 outs right now, though, with Jason Lashley coming up.
That's a gutsy play, Steve Phillips. Wow.
If you missed it, that's 2 runs.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's how you play a championship game. Lashley 1 of 12 at this event with a pair of RBIs. How about that? Boy, reactions from both dugouts and a gutsy talked about being thieves on the base pads, taking chances.
Yeah, now, interesting that, the runner on second in Patton steals. I think the runner first did go to second as well, so the double steal on. I mean, listen, with 2 outs, you've got a runner in scoring position. You don't always see somebody try to steal a base right there because you're already in scoring position. And it looked like the ball beat him, but his hand must have gotten in under the tag.
Well, game feels fast right now. I mean, it feels like it's got to be going real fast for Benavidez as they're talking it over.
Well, I figured they're going out to talk about it, flipped it around once already in the game. Let's see if we can't get another turnaround here. Interesting, Jason Lashley, his numbers aren't great in this tournament, but as an evaluator, I love his at-bats. I like his approach. I like his bats. He'd hit the ball hard. He just hasn't had a lot of luck just yet.
You're talking about his brother Matt hitting just a moment ago. That advanced metric or that advanced stat of batting average for balls in play has not been his friend. That all evens out that luck in baseball. The son of Stephen and Joanne. And, of course, there are other siblings, Ryan, Nicole, and Brett. Swing and a miss. Boy, what a good breaking ball. How in the world did the Pioneers come up empty in that one? The game got fast right out of the gates for this talented left-hander, and he reeled things back in. Thanks to an incredible play, by the way, by Zaya Diaz. Gold Coast Community College and their leaders have built an incredible event in partnership with Perfect Game. 1-0 the score, Chipola on top, and it's got a fun history already. Just a couple of years old. You see Florida Southwestern has won it, Wallace has won it, the host team Gulf Coast has won it, and of course the alumni of this of some of these schools. You got Jose Batista, Cliff Lee. My father, Don Sutton, went to Gulf Coast a long time prior to that. See, that's when Pops arrived in the big leagues. Oh, boy, he brought his son along with him. The journey of a man who's, well, that's an honor. I didn't know that was coming. What an honor that is to see all those. I guess the most fun part about it, Steve, is he's a JUCO alum, and they're proud to claim him at the JUCO ranks.
I love it.
1 year. He only played 1 year in junior college, and there was not a draft. Signed out of, and I know Steve knows about this, the NBC tournament in the middle of America.
Yep,
played for a team out of Alaska and pitched well enough to get whatever thousands dollars. I think it was $17,000 from the Dodgers to begin his pro career.
Wow. And a long and successful career for sure.
They have named the MVP trophy after him here, which is always an honor. Colin Guerra puts that one on the ground. diving attempt as he pounds the ground because he came up empty. Lucena's got a ton of range. Just couldn't make the play, and Cullen with a base hit.
Yeah, just beyond his reach. And, the ball sort of going through on the turf here, and good piece of hitting, hustling down the line. And you see Lucena going a good angle to the ball just below his glove. Sometimes when you dive and you see it going below your glove, and they really want to teach diving along the ground so that the ball, it's easier if you're going to move your hand up than it is to move it down when you're diving.
Josiah Seguin out of Glen Allen, Virginia. Deep Run High School 2023 graduate. Continues to challenge with that fastball. Inner half, too.
Yeah, I think early in the count, right? First pitch, go with that high fastball. And so it's something to remind himself of late in the count for a put-away pitch.
Little dip and dive to that one. Nice little slider, 0-2 the count. It's interesting. That kind of comes, the modern pitcher calls it tunneling. That's exactly what he just did.
Right.
Way ahead in the count, 0-2. He'll run the runner back to the bag. Josiah talks about life in the classroom his freshman year. He said, I grew up a little bit. I worked, changed my focus, time management. That's a wonderful place to do it your first year in college. You have the discipline of playing for a coach like Jeff Johnson. And, I mean, look, you think about the academics, and I think we overlook that. We don't mean to, but, these young men are going to class every day as well. And he said, I really grew up a lot in that area. I'm proud of what I accomplished last year. It was new for me to have that kind of focus academically. Boy, you mentioned it. He'll go into that well. Take note from what he did early.
First pitch was the high fastball, got the swing and miss, and came right back with it for the put-away pitch, reminding himself he did like it, he chased it, and he had a tough time getting on top of it as he swings underneath for strike three.
Well, Nick Croce may be hitting a little bit lower in the order. I believe he was 9 in the game we did yesterday. That doesn't mean that his numbers are representative. His starts of the season. Pickoff throw gets away. And now Nick, who's been so hot to open the year, has a chance to drive in a run.
He does have 6 RBIs already on the season. And the pickoff attempt going over and just scoots. When you throw it into the base runner like that, it's awfully hard at times for the first baseman to be able to glove it with the body of the base runner diving back in. So it scoots by him. It kicked off the wall, and fortunately able to at least hold Guerra to second base and not give him a chance to round to go to third.
Big weekend. You can see the numbers there as he takes strike 1, 7 of 15 on the year with a couple of walks. That's an early season start of a .529 on base percentage for Nick.
Freshman getting it done early in his career.
That one had a little bit of run in on the hands as he pops it into right field. Eddie Davis is there for the second out of the inning.
That just kind of opened up a little bit. Bat got a little bit loopy and drives it into right field. A bit of a flare out there. Easy play from Eddie Davis to come in holding the runner at second.
Juncos, Puerto Rico is the hometown of Derek Gonzalez Adams as he takes a pitch outside, 1-0 the count. Graduate of the 2024 class, so a young, talented athlete. A switch hitter who, when he graduated, was ranked 6th overall amongst catchers in Puerto Rico.
There have been some pretty good catchers coming out of Puerto Rico. The Molina brothers certainly leading the way. Pudge Rodriguez.
Pudge was an amazing player.
Think about the Molina parents, Benji and Gladys Molina, and have 3 sons that are major league catchers, and the leadership and the quality of traits that they developed in them.
I know how much their father meant to them. I was around Benji and Jose as a much younger announcer when they were, Jose backing up, but Benji, the heartbeat of the Angels. He was a catcher then. Left field. Shallow. Scout Simpson is there. Leadoff base runner stranded. Great start in this one, 1-0. Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Just getting going.
I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no else, gotta get a no call to quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston. Ayy, feeling like Whitney. I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when they throwin' the fastball. Too much shit I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in the black whip. Got old problems with a friends new.
Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton from Panama City Beach, Florida. Got outfloated the other day just a little bit. The water's nice. Come on in, folks. The water's nice. The athletes have been doing it carefully. They don't get too much out into that sun, but when in Rome and or Panama City Beach, you take care of it. What has been your assessment, Steve? It's been 3 days of broadcast now. You're getting the evaluators' eyes on these players. In junior college, we keep being told that it's growing, getting better each and every year. What have you seen first couple of days?
Oh, there's no question. The quality of play. I mean, the number of players, obviously, that have transferred here after spending a year at a major college program, a D1 program, didn't get playing time, and, come here to come play. But the athleticism is what surprised me. The number of outstanding defensive plays this entire weekend has been fantastic. And the depth of pitching is not quite as good as the depth of hitting. At least not early on right now in this season. But I think, some of the pitchers still getting their legs underneath them. But I think the offense for early in the season has been pretty good for some of these teams.
Matty Davis will go to work. Benavides with an opportunity to get a clean slate. Look, he put a 0 up in the first inning. It was some heavy lifting to do so, though. And now I think when you get through that, you gain the confidence and your stuff can play with a little bit more swagger. Right down the middle. It's lifted into the alley in left center field. One dumps in there for a base hit. So Matty, the right fielder, starts things off. Back-to-back innings, leadoff base runner.
Nice job holding him to a single on that one. Got a high fastball that he could drive. I mean, he hit that pretty well, going out to that left center field gap. But Hugas does a good job getting over to it quickly and getting it in, cutting it off before it gets to the wall, and therefore locking in Matty Davis at first base.
Left on left, Scout Simpson, the left fielder. When you ask Benavides, as you take a look at how good Scout has been at this event, what he throws, he'll put it simply, I'm a fastball guy with a lot of run and ride, changeup with fade. It's a strikeout and a contact pitch, as that one will slip away, and a runner will move into scoring position, and he finishes it up with, I throw a sweeper slider that gets a lot of chases. Those are his words on who he is as a pitcher.
Well, that was the sweeper right there, but just, overthrew it and threw it off the plate. And for Derek Gonzalez, not able to corral that, allowing the runner to get to second.
3-0 the count. What are we seeing velocity-wise when we take a look at this left-hander? A fastball that's ticking up into the high 80s. That one's way outside. That's ball 4. So here he goes again. Instead of walk single, it's single walk, and he's pinned his back against the wall.
And now he's going to have to make some pitches here. Now we'll see whether or not, Indy River chooses to sacrifice and move the runners or not. Now, you mentioned Frank Torrey, their head coach, the nephew of Joe Torrey. Frank Torrey Sr., Frank Torrey Jr., the coach's father, was a former Major League player as well.
Into left field it goes. Big aggressive turn, cut off, back into the cutoff man. Look, Steve, they said we'll move the base runners up, but we'll do it with a base hit.
Yeah, no thought of a bunt right there. He went out and just swung aggressively, finding the hole, the 5.5 hole between short and third, driving it to the left to the right of Josiah Seguin. And good decision by third base coach Frank Torrey, the head coach of this team, to hold the runner. Got a big inning ready to brew right here. No reason to run into an out at home plate.
Now it's time to pull things together. Quick conversation. This Chipola team, certainly with a ton of great leadership. At the very top, of course, is Jeff Johnson. See Rush Hickson there. Also Anthony Marks on the staff. Sterling Pell, Seamus Keneally, and Daniel Serta. They're going to move around a little bit in the bullpen there. When you think about Jeff Johnson, understand you have a head coach with more than 1,000 victories, 28 years. 3 times Jeff, the National Coach of the Year. 3 times Chipola's been the national champion. In 07, 17, and in 18. They're kind of the gold standard of junior college baseball. 1-0. Sean Duffin, the batter now.
When you have that kind of success, too, it feeds itself, right? When you have that kind of success, players want to come to you instead of you having to keep hunting for everybody. They want to come play for you.
Duffin, of course, like all of these players, hopes that he earns a paycheck playing professional baseball. But beyond that, he's already made it very clear. It's either a firefighter or a paramedic. That's what's next for me. I want to get into public safety. As he fouls that one off, 2-1 the count. He's out of Hollywood, Florida, this batter. And he's played his travel ball in the past for the Canes and Elite Squad, 2 well-known travel organizations.
I really like him. Had a chance to watch him in the first game we did and really like his swing. Patience at the plate. I like his setup. He gets his hands back. He's a strong young man for a freshman. I'm sure he played some high school football with that build.
On 3-1, that one really tied him up as into left field the play is made. Deep enough, though, to play to run. And the Pioneers tie it up. Indian River State 1, Chipola 1.
Yeah, he did a good job understanding you don't want to strike out. You have to put the ball in play, and an out can be a productive out that can lead to a run. You want to try to get something you can get in the air. He was able to lift it right there. Did a nice job driving that ball to left center field. Base runners going back and tagging, putting themselves in position to advance. Nice job all around.
Manasquan, New Jersey, the hometown of Brett Patton. So the New Jersey man who is the son of Doreen and Jack. Plate full out there, a couple of base runners on, and he laces that one into left center field. That one is down, and they are on the move on the base pads. Another run will score. 2-1 as a big, aggressive piece of hitting for Brett Patton.
Yeah, left on left, you want to think to yourself, let me look for that first fastball when I get it. Let me jump on it, right? Let me avoid that sweeper. And he got a fastball up and didn't try to do too much, thinking about driving it to left center field over the shortstop's head. Does exactly that, gets it into the gap, and then it turns into a track meet. As the outfielders start to track the ball down, Luke Williams gets it in as quickly as he can. Patton ends up getting into second base.
1-0 the count. First pitch inside to Matt Lashley, who was aggressive early in the count with a single back in the first. It's been a good tournament for Patton. He's got 3 hits. He's got 3 walks. He's been on base 6 times now. 2-0.
Just the Lashleys, both Matt and Jason, they take pitches so quietly. They don't jump at the ball. They're just balanced and calm at the plate. Those are great attributes for young hitters.
I'm curious because BP is BP, right? Or cage hitting is cage hitting. How does one practice to get in that kind of setting and to take pitches like that, like you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a mindset, and it may be genetic too.
Ground ball out to short. On across the diamond, and another run will score. So contact, you say a peaceful approach at the plate, that nets an RBI for Matt Lashley.
That's why contact is so important. And yet, we have so many players that swing for the fences for home runs in professional baseball, but you see the value of putting it in play, right? And good jump off third base, moving on the pitch by Scout Simpson. And he finds himself coming around to be able to score on the play. Nico Lopez there.
They'll make a move here. Benavides will give up his spot on the mound, and the call to the bullpen has been made. Ismael Borrero gets the call, and so they'll look for another look. This team can hit. This Chipola team can hit. We know it, so they need to stop things right now. We'll step aside, and a strong start for Indian River State College.
At Panama City Beach, 27 miles of white sand, gorgeous turquoise waters, and sunsets you'll never forget are just the beginning. Here, your family can vacation the way they want. Whether your style is go, 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 or just take it slow, this is where you can be you. Have an adventure, ride the waves, eat the perfect meal, or relax until the sun goes down. Panama City Beach. Make it yours at the Real Fun Beach.
The high school season kicks off in style later this month. It's a SoCal showdown. Some of the very best players in the country and the nation's #1 team, Corona, for the first time. This 2-week tournament will be broadcast live. So join us from Corona, California on February 22nd. It's the inaugural Perfect Game SoCal showdown only on Perfect Game TV. Draft pick after draft pick. On that Corona team, we're proud to be bringing high school baseball really all throughout February, March, and April. We're going to have a ton of it for you from around the country, whether it be Miami, Florida, whether it be California, whether it be Virginia, whether it be Las Vegas, we'll be there for you. Ismael Borrero, out of Hurricane, West Virginia, a graduate of Hurricane High School. And
Coronado
one of the
High
hottest
School
hitters in this event, period, end of story, Jake Weatherspoon, who has 7 hits in 12 at-bats with a chance to extend this lead. Looked like he started him off with a changeup, strike one. That's what you do with an aggressive hitter.
Boy, I tell you, I've been so impressed by the decisions when pitchers come in on their first pitches, knowing hitters are sitting fastball.
Patton is at third, 3-1 the score. Indian River State on top. So it's been changeup, slider, 1-2 the count. Hung a slider, and he was way out. That's tough to keep that pitch fair.
Yeah, now, if he wants, he can, and he was so far out in front of it that you throw that slider in the outer third of the plate, make it look like a strike, then break it off the plate, and he can get him.
The first fastball, he beat him with it. Does it stay in the yard? Running out of room over there is Croce. Second outing for Barrero in this event a couple of days ago against Florence Darlington Tech, or Flodar as we call them in the industry. He went 1 2/3 innings. He struck out to, it was hitless relief, and he touched 89 miles an hour, this right-hander. That's the pitch you were calling for, Steve. Exactly.
Well executed right there. Good hitter going down and got him away from his strength off chasing the fastball. Went with the changeup breaking ball, keeping him off balance on it. But good piece of hitting right there. Indian River putting up some runs here early on. 3-1 lead for Indian River, getting it done offensively.
A little bit of room to work with on a gorgeous Panama City Beach day. Michael Malone heads back out to the mound with his team on top by a score of 3-1, with piranhas that are in the water swimming around looking to get things going. A couple of strikeouts, make it 3 strikeouts in 2 innings of work for Michael Malone.
He's done a really nice job. He has had some big misses in the zone, out of the zone, but he comes back and makes pitches. That high fastball really jumps on the hitters. Got a lot of swings and misses on that pitch. Has done a nice job keeping the hitters off balance.
We go right back to the top of the order with Luke Williams, who struck out in the first inning. It was a fastball, the pitch Steve's talking about, that high spin, elevated fastball that got Williams to swing and miss. It's back in there, and it's a rolled foul. Indian River State College opened its doors in the late 50s. As we said, a large junior college, nearly 15,000 students. In Fort Pierce, Florida. 2-1. Their alums, Indian River. Mike Bianco, the head coach of Ole Miss. 2-2, the count.
There's that high fastball. Indian River just up I-95 from Port St. Lucie, Florida. In fact, we would have Indian River come in and play against our extended spring training players at times to be able to get some work for both sides.
That's thoughtful stuff. How much of that goes on? We hear about the big league team sometimes will host a collegiate team. Does that go on occasion, Steve?
Yeah, I think it does. I think certainly down in Florida, I think you find some willingness for teams to come in and play.
What's a win for both sides, right?
Absolutely. I mean, especially because, sometimes you've got a lot of kids down there that are just getting in or have come over from Dominican Venezuela. Then you get closer to the draft. Back then, the draft was obviously in June, but you're able to get some other kids in or drafted follows like they used to have that would sign late before the draft.
Well, and then your organization would have some, eyes on players on your campus.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when a team like the Arizona Diamondbacks works with Perfect Game to host the national showcase. The prospects are on the campus of the Diamondbacks, for lack of better words.
Absolutely right.
He's missing up there. He's maybe rushing off a bit. A lot of arm side misses. Miguel tripled first time up. It has been a wonderful, powerful tournament for him. He goes at it again. Into right field, that baseball goes, and a nice play as he tracks toward the foul line, Matty Davis.
Well, Miguel Hugas really gets the good part of the bat to the ball in almost every at-bat. I mean, very consistent approach. Calm at the plate. His head doesn't move much in that swing. So he lined out right there, and you feel like, a little disappointed, but it was well struck.
Jace Vanek, Louisiana man from Lake Charles. Struck out first time up. Takes a sharp little slider over the outside corner for strike one. Chipola in Marianna, Florida. And they have a long list of alum who have gone on to play professional baseball and even to the big leagues, as that one, a changeup, misses outside.
Sure have Jose Batista, Russell Martin, Patrick Corbin, Adam Duvall, even Buck Showalter back in his playing days before he went to Mississippi State.
Careers are interesting things. I think any of us baseball fans, geek out and maybe admit that we have forgotten about how good Russell Martin was. As that one is rolled, third baseline, that stays fair and takes an awful hop and skips away. Vanek initially didn't even know if he should take off and run. Well, when he did run, he reached. He's at first.
Well, it looked like the ball hit the bag, and Sean Duffin, the third baseman, went over behind third base to get in position to field it if it was foul. I think they thought it was going to be, and it looked like it sort of had some English on it, and it did. It kind of kicked back, hit the base, and bounced up in the air over Duffin. I don't know how much of a play he would have had anyways, even if he were able to get a glove on it with the way the ball popped up on him, and he was going to have to turn his body to catch it.
Yeah, you're right. That was infield single all the way. That had so much English on it. Change up, strike one. Starting to flash that pitch a little bit more this inning. Second time through the order.
Really like that pitch, right? A situation, the hitter's up there, anxious to drive in runs. Gets him out in front.
1-1 the count. Zayed Diaz, who walked back in the first inning. You think about the career of Russell Martin, an alum of Chipola. And you stack up his wins above replacement of all Chipola alum. He's number one all time. Bouncing ball to the middle of the diamond. How many outs will they get? They get one, and that's all. Runners on first and third, but 2 outs now.
Well, ball not hit all that hard to be able to get the double play. And I think for Lucina, a little bit of an issue on getting it to it quickly enough and getting it out of his glove. Got an in-between hop a little bit right there and just not quick enough. But I do think that Diaz hustling down the line would have been tough to double up no matter what.
1-0 the count.
Now, Darren, I talked yesterday about Sam Parker. If you watch that little wiggle on his bat when the pitch is coming in, he sort of flips his wrist and the bat head goes in. And it worries me about the hard fastball, if that's going to cost him from getting to that really hard, high fastball, because he's got that extra little movement before he starts his swing. He may have to clean that up a little bit as his career progresses.
It's a good fastball there. There are a lot of ways to address it, but in your mind, give me a quick solve. One of many, but what would you say to do?
Yeah, I think I might actually lower his hands a little bit and just think about getting to the launch position. But it's gonna have to do some thinking, which you don't like to do in a game, right? You don't want to think, but he's gonna have to just say, I don't want to just flip that top wrist and just take my hands back. And it may be part of the grip of his bat. He looks like that top hand is really turned around. If you watch when he grips the bat with that top hand, it feels like maybe if he had it more in the fingertips as opposed to sort of in the palm of his hand, he might be able to get that out of there. It looks like he's got that top hand sort of wrapped around a little bit.
Sam Parker hits a pop-up. Back of the bag at second base. Shortstop drifts around. That's Matt Lashley. And he makes the play for the out. 3 total base runners in the inning. A couple of base runners stranded in the end. 3-1 the score. Indian River stayed on top. Beautiful gathering of talented athletes and so much junior college baseball history. Chipola, we were talking about it earlier. He's made 6 appearances. Grand Junction at the JUCO World Series in 07 where they won it. 08, 11, 17, and 18 when they won it. And back in 2019 as well. They're 19-9 overall in the JUCO World Series. So the standards are pretty high. Indian River State College has been 3 times as well. 93, 95, 96, 7 overall wins in the Junior College World Series. They think, Coach Torrey thinks he's built a team that, you got to stay healthy and get hot, but he feels like this year he's built a team that may have a chance to go back for the first time in what's been more than a couple of decades. Ismael Barrero against Michael Lucena. One and one the count. The catcher from Venezuela, Rafael and Yennefer, his parents. And his dude he loves to watch is the Diamondbacks' Gabby Moreno as he is squared up with that one. Ouch.
That's going to hurt. That ball had teeth on it running inside to get him. And not sure if it got him on the wrist or the hand, but he's looking for some medical attention right now. Looks like he might be okay. Right on the wrist is saying. Watch this ball sort of just tailing in. And, as a hitter, you get your hands to that launch position. They start to move forward a little bit. And you're moving into the ball, but it looks like maybe it was able to deflect off of that. He's got a smile on his face, so glad to see that.
Steve, that tells me something, by the way, about his athleticism, that he's a catcher by trade, at least a primary catcher with the athleticism to play second base.
Absolutely.
That's who Lucena is. I guess go back in time, folks, for our older folks, think Craig Biggio.
That's right.
Lashley in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Jason struck out back in the first inning. Brother Matt has singled and driven in a run. Three pitches, quick work. That almost had cut to it, right in under his hands. Tough pitch.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily that he meant to cut it, but sometimes, you're a young pitcher out there and throws the fastball. If your hand gets on the side of the ball a little bit, you can cut it, make it run in. It looked like it did run in a little bit on Jason Lashley.
There's that same action on that pitch on the outer half, this time to Matty Davis. 92 miles an hour. That last pitch, by the way, that got Jason Lashley was 92 miles an hour. Down off the end of the bat. Saw it good, was unable to drive it. Well, that's a tough angle. Going over the shoulder to make the play. Colin Guerra was there as he called off his center fielder.
Yeah, it's a really good play and a tough play, and one that ball was up long enough that you would think it'd be an outfielder's ball. And remember, pop-up priorities, the outfielders have priority over the infielders. He's going back, and great job. Excellent play by Guerra for sure. But outfielders have priority over infielders, and then the center fielder has priority over everybody.
So we opted to doff his cap and give up that play to Colin. Scout Simpson walked and scored.
Darren Ismael Barrero reminds me of Octavio Dotel, one of the pitchers I had back in the day. Loose, lanky arm, pitched for like 12 or 13 teams. He bounced around, but had a really good arm.
That is such a great comp. We'll look for that in the next inning. I love that comp, and I can see it. I absolutely can see it. The younger Octavio Dotel, a.k.a. Ismael Barrero, gets Scout Simpson that time. 3-1 the score as we move to the fourth inning. Title game. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, and you, glad to have you with us, and we're glad to have you on Perfect Game TV. We have to remind you, though, if you're watching online, you're watching on your traditional laptop or PC, get to the app. We're here, PGTV, and hit that QR code. We're here 24/7, 365. Ton of live games, athlete features, moving documentaries. Baseball's future stars shine on this network, and they've done so since we founded it back in 2020. Again, hit that QR code. Put it on your smart TV, on your smart device, and on your tablet. It's Perfect Game TV. We are the home of amateur baseball. This is Justin Minneberry. Ormond Beach, Florida, has worked just a single inning in this event. Kind of a bullpen game, if you will, as you get later in the game. Fresh arms, opportunities. Minneberry, Spruce Creek High School. He graduated in 2023. Matthew Cleveland, his high school coach. And the Orlando Scorpions, of course, with that in mind, his travel team. Kinesiology degree is what he's pursuing someday. And for now, though, he's trying to keep Chipola at bay. The score 3-1. From Olathe, Kansas, is Colin Guerra. And he's in the hole 0-1. Good life on that first pitch.
Yeah, big, strong young man, Minneberry, on the mound right here.
Oh, and 2 the count. Fastballs back-to-back. Guerra, the son of Christy and Lennon, and the younger brother to Ethan. Both his parents were track stars in college. Dad was an All-American. And, of course, Ethan, we shared yesterday, plays for Chip Hale at Arizona. Hands in quickly. Third straight fastball was the charm. He came at him 3 straight times, same pitch. And, again, he hit it hard, but right into the glove of Matty Davis.
Yeah, he did hit it hard. It's a good piece of hitting right there. Hard fastball inside, clears his hands inside, drives it to right field. Had some good exit velocity on it. It was an out line drive to right field, halfway down the first baseline. He knew that ball was going to be caught.
Pride of Virginia, Josiah Seguin on the ground. Couple of steps in. On across to his first baseman, Lucena. The catcher playing second base over to Nico Lopez, 2 outs.
Seguin looks to me like he's working on his left-handed swing as a switch hitter. That because he really kind of cuts across his body with it, and it feels a little bit unnatural right now. Like he's still trying to get the feel of developing, becoming a switch hitter.
Red-hot Nick Crosey. 0-1 the count. Just a bunch of fastballs for strikes. As a matter of fact, he has not put a wrinkle in a single one of these, and they've all been either 90 or 91. I love it, Steve. Here we go. Let's play.
Yeah, he looks like a major league reliever who comes in and just is going to, throw his fastball, and he'll grunt when he pitches. He's a brute on the mound. Good presence.
Works out of the stretch. And the 0-2. Wow, good pitch.
Good downward plane on that fastball, too. I really like that. Threw it hard. And to throw that pitch to the outer third of the plate, you really have to get extension out front. He did on that pitch.
Is it an all fastball inning? Let's continue to watch. The 1-2. It is outside, 2-2 the count. We've seen him now tick up to 92 miles an hour. Two to the red-hot Crosey. Again outside. That one off the plate.
Yeah, he's begging for it a little bit right now. And look, this is one where don't try to miss his bat. Go right at him here. Right? You have a 3-1 lead. Be aggressive. You've got good stuff. That's going to be very difficult for hitters to center you up anyways.
Dealing with the New Yorker and Crosey. He wags that bat. The 3-2. And he beat him with that one.
Yeah, he told him on that pitch that you go a little bit higher on that one, and I think you get him to chase it, and I don't think he can catch up to it.
The dance in baseball is so much fun to watch. Will he spin one? The 3-2. He didn't. Sticks with the fastball. So then you turn and you tip your cap to Nick. That was a heck of an at-bat.
Very good at-bat. And, look, I think that a chance, even in what so far is a really nice outing for Minneberry, some things to learn about there, about getting in the zone, be a little more aggressive in the zone early in the count. Even though you lost him for a walk, you may get out of this without giving up anything. It's that idea of being more efficient with your stuff.
Wide open stance for Derek Gonzalez. And back behind that shoulder, another fastball misses inside. So Gonzalez, a catcher, but a catcher with some pretty good legs. Matter of fact, we saw him in a perfect game event a couple of years ago. 2023 National Showcase. As a catcher, run a 6.5 60.
Wow.
Still fastballs. Talk about the quick twitch actions he has on defense. Real flexible. Great behind the plate. Was that the first slider?
I don't know. If it did, it backed up on him a little bit.
Yeah.
And he tried to feel for it as he threw it instead of just throwing it.
Yeah, Ben, we'll take a look at the radar reading in a moment on that one. But it's been almost all fastballs. The 2-1. There's a fastball down and in.
Remember in the Major League playoffs last year for the Yankees, a pitcher named Tommy Kahnle threw 61 straight changeups in the playoffs. 61 straight changeups. Signed with the Tigers as a free agent.
I remember that, Steve. Former Dodger reliever, too. I do remember that. Pulls the hands in, out to the second baseman, right chest high into the glove of Lucena. One slider in the inning, and it was thrown without conviction. It was all fastballs for Justin Minneberry, and he worked his way through it, his team leading 3-1.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, hey, feeling like Whitney. I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when they throwing the fastball. Too much that I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in the black whip. Got old problems with the friends new.
This is PCB, where you can be you. Where you can build the biggest monument to sand the world has ever seen. And your kids can let loose, like they should. So call your shot. Play till the sun goes down. This is a place where your family can be themselves. Whatever you want your vacation to be, make it happen at Panama City Beach. Make it yours at the Real Fun Beach.
Thanks for floating around with us all week long and then into the weekend at this great event, one of the finest programs, especially east of the Mississippi River. Perfect Games Gathering 2025 championship of the Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. That team there in the pretty blue tops, Indian River State College on top by a score of 3-1. They've held Chipola at bay, and Indian River State undefeated. So Steve Phillips was telling us a couple of innings ago, or at least a couple of spins through the box score ago, that this man on the mound, Ismael Barrero, reminded him, and I can't think you're more spot on, of Octavio Dotel with those broad shoulders, those flexible arms.
Yeah, very flexible, long arms as well. As you see Barrero, he's got long arms, a lot of whip to his delivery. Good athlete. Octavio had a long major league career.
That fastball down below the knees is skied back behind the second base bag. Shortstop. Josiah Seguin drifts over, and that's out number one. And last year, Barrero, 42 2/3 innings pitched and 32 strikeouts. Kind of worked his way in, opportunities. And when you're on a team like this and you're logging pretty good and successful innings, he won 6 times, 20 appearances overall. The ERA just a tick over 5 last year. 1-1. They thought he had committed to that tough slider down away. He didn't.
Yeah, I can't tell who was going, whether they thinking, he held up on that. He really did. He did a nice job holding up on it. Some strong wrists, strong forearms from the young man.
Went back to that same pitch. This one over the outside corner. Sean Duffin goes down on strikes. Duffin, who had a sac fly in his last at bat. This was nasty.
Yeah, this is that slider. You start on the outside part of the plate. You break it right off the plate. Freezing Duffin on the pitch, getting the strikeout looking.
Left-handed bat of Brett Patton. There's that same slider in a pretty good spot, called low.
Yeah, trying to bury that to the back foot of the left-handed hitter. As a left-handed hitter, I know I couldn't hit that pitch.
Patton's dad, Jack, pitched at UNLV. Others moved on to the professional ranks is in the Tigers organization. 2-1 the count. Almost had the actions of a 2-0 changeup. Please don't tell me that's what that was. If that's the case, that's an old man's veteran pitch.
Yeah. Better check the birth certificate right here. That's an old man's pitch right there.
And it's
Another
a slider.
One.
I think he literally,
slider.
to Patton, has gone changeup, slider.
Yeah. Here comes the high fastball now.
Ah, let's watch. He's got him set up for it on 2-2. Looked like he left a slider up, and he knows it. He's looking in the dugout, and I'm glad I got that one back.
Still has him set up for the high fastball. Even though it was a high slider, throw it in that same tunnel with more velocity.
Ismael Barrero. He went in with the fastball that time. Now, the most fun part of this at bat, pitcher falls behind 2-0. Pitcher on 2-0 throws another changeup and gets a swing and a miss. Let's see how the at bat ends. It's a hammer slider, and it's strike 3 now. That was an inning for Barrero. One that even Octavio Dotel would pause, if only for a moment, and watch and say, I like that. I like that kid. He's pretty good, huh, Steve?
Keeping him off balance. Looking for a pitch, doesn't get it, gets the strikeout. Called third strike there, then getting it again. Nice job, young man.
So even though it's 3-1 and we put 4 in the books, this is 100% on a gorgeous day in Panama City Beach, Florida. Anybody's game, because we've seen who Chipola can be. Athletically, a talented, really dangerous hitting team. So we'll see. I mean, we'll wait and see what happens in these final couple of innings. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, glad to be joining all of you. Some great production leadership, certainly on campus in Panama City Beach. Great production leadership in Orange, California. Our streaming partners out of Brooklyn, New York. So it's a family that is sharing this great family sport with you today. It's been a fun weekend, for sure. Broad-shouldered Justin Minneberry. That hat stands tall on top of his head as he gets ready to go to work. And Luke Williams is who he deals with first, and he does so with strike 1.
It's funny. I keep seeing pictures that I had. So Minneberry reminds me of Steve Traxel a little bit with his build and delivery on the mound.
Isn't it fun having scouts, player development people on as analysts? Because you guys comp like it's nobody's business, Steve. I see it. I mean, I totally see it.
Yeah, see body type and delivery and some of the actions that they have on the mound. Two and 1 the count. And when I sit with you, when I sit with
Long-time perfect game scout, great writer David Ronsley. I love listening to who you guys see in these athletes, while always reminding us how they're still their own individuals. I love those perspectives from guys like you. 3-1 the count.
I had Steve Traxel and his signed as a free agent. His first year, he wasn't pitching well early on. And we went to him. He had to approve going to the minor leagues. So we asked him, would you go down and work on a few things? We'll have a limited time frame because he could veto it if he wanted to. So we asked him if he'd be willing to go down.
Just off the plate, he lost him ball 4.
He wasn't sure that he really wanted to. And so he went home and asked his wife. And his wife said, "What are you doing? Pack your bags. I'm surprised they waited this long to send you down to go get this. Go get yourself fixed and come back. I'm waiting up here with the kids." So he went, I'm like, I love her. Like, that was fantastic. And he went down and he got it turned around and came back and pitched well for us. Slowly, but he pitched well for us.
On the ground, could be 2. A flip. Tough to turn, though, when you're coming toward the bag. They do get the lead runner there. Lashley and Lucena working together in the middle of the diamond. 1 out.
Right, so left-handed hitter. So they're playing, at second base, Lucena around a little bit on it to pull. And so he had a long way to go to get there for the feed for the double play. And so I don't know they would have had it even if it were slower hit ball and hit right at the shortstop. So they'll settle for the 1 out.
I think I see about the time you might have sent him down, Steve. I'm looking at that as that one spiked into the dirt. Speaking of Steve Traxel. And Hugas
Steve
moves
Traxel
up.
was the slowest worker ever as well.
There was a point, Steve, where he gave up 7 to San Diego, and he was rolling with an 8.24 ERA.
Yeah. He wasn't throwing his fastball. And when you don't have options, you got to get the player's approval to send him down after 5 years of service. And so we made a deal that would be a limited amount of time. We're definitely going to bring you back. We just thought it'd be good to get you out of this environment where you're getting booed.
Pulls that one, Vanek does. Ranging over, bobbling and recovering, but turning it into an out. Lucena makes the play. 2 outs in the inning, runner at third, but 2 away.
Man, Lucena getting over, ranging over there, understanding he's got time to be able to make this play, taking a good angle to be able to field the ball. Lopez getting over to first, getting himself turned, and then quickly receiving it, and then picking up the runner on third base. Good heads-up play by Nico Lopez at first.
Zayad Diaz now. Walk, fielder's choice. He's been on twice, 0-1 the count. Just to finish Steve's thought, as it starts with a comp to this pitcher, longtime veteran Steve Traxel finished that year in his final 20 starts with an ERA of 3.35 because he listened to his boss and he got things right.
He listened to his wife, which is the boss, who you meant, right? His wife.
Well, I meant you,
was the
but
boss.
yes, his wife as well.
She was too.
Both. That's a great story.
I will say that Minneberry works more quickly than Steve Traxel. Steve Traxel was a very slow worker, where the fans would chant, "Throw the ball." He was really slow. Human rain delay.
Yeah, that wouldn't work in this era of the pitch clock. He came along at the right time.
Good guy on the team, though. Good teammate, and look, that was tough to swallow for a guy who's been in the big leagues for a number of years, but he did it, and it was the right thing for him and for the team.
Diaz with that wide open stance for an opportunity. Chipola right there in front of them. There's that elevated fastball again. We've seen a couple of changeups, maybe one slider, but everything's been fastballs. Everything.
Well, until they can prove they can catch up to it, and it's so effective for them, I'd keep going there. Every once in a while, though, I'd like to show a wrinkle.
He must hide it well, Steve, and he also has some good spin on it. Or good command. Oh, boy, that's a good pitch. Woo-hoo-hoo, ball 4.
I'll tell you, Nate Starr, though, behind the plate, has been very consistent with that pitch. where, at least, it looks like a strike from our angle. But again, the angles can be deceptive. But every time there's been a pitch right there, he has called it a ball. And so, you know what? I accept consistency. If it still looks like it might be a strike, I'll just take the consistency because, the way the angle is, a little off center, it may be inside.
Diaz thought it was ball 4, tricked us as well. It was ball 3. That's strike 3. He got the call. Boy, he stuck to it, went back to the same spot. Look at that reaction. Working a lot quicker than the longtime major leaguer Steve Traxel with some pinpoint accuracy. And they leave a runner stranded at third, up 3-1.
That's crazy. I feel no pain, nothing. That's like crazy. Zero pain, zero. That's crazy, dude.
Like, I can't feel my traps anymore because they've been going and they're super loose now. But my legs, it almost feels like somebody's just like, bump, bump, bump. It feels like you're getting a massage, free massage.
Shoes might throw, no better way to go.
Frank Torrey and his team, Indian River State, really a strong showing and fun to watch Justin Minneberry on the mound as we welcome you back. Another picture postcard day in Panama City Beach, Florida. This is such a great complex. We've seen this public sports park. This is field 4 at this gorgeous complex, but there are natural grass fields out here, turf fields, soccer, lacrosse, flag football, and of course baseball. Had the chance over the years to watch this be built from the ground up, coming to Perfect Game events, a new hotel right there on the deeper parts of this campus. Just a great spot. And here we watch the talent again of Ismael Barrero. Starts off with a first pitch changeup. He's dealing with Matt Lashley, who's singled and driven in a run.
Well, he presents the challenge because he does go off speed so much. So you still have to look fastball and just keep your hands back and adjust to the off speed. One of the things you can't do as a hitter is look off speed and then speed it up to hit the fastball. You can never do that.
Rolls that one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Tries to dig out of the hole. That's a pretty nice take. Running fastball wouldn't offer at it. Work the count to 3-2. Pounds that one off the turf. He'll get over, take it himself, and tap onto that bag, 1 away.
Very athletic, getting off the mound like a cat. Going over to field that ball himself. And, early on in the season, the pitcher's fielding practice and the decision-making has been excellent in this tournament. We've seen a lot of those tweeners where it's a tough decision for the first baseman, for the pitcher about where to go, who should get the ball, how do you field it. That was well executed.
And now Jake Weatherspoon. 0 for 2. They've managed to find a way to quiet him in this event. He had 7 hits in 11 at-bats coming in. We'll see how long they're able to keep him down. The 1-0. Puts a wrinkle in that slider, but it's outside. 2-0 the count. Steve was telling you Frank Torrey, great baseball family name. His father, Frank Sr., first baseman, Boston Braves organization, played in the major leagues. His uncle Joe Torrey, as that one's in time for the second out. the Hall of Famer and a key leader for the Yankees and now in Major League Baseball. But Frank, before taking over this job, was an amazing high school coach. I mean, really did great things at Dwyer High School in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Built the program, really rebuilt it. Bunch of championships, district championships in 12, 16, 17, and 18. You think about that when you make that move, Steve, from building and creating a successful high school program right to the JUCO level. You're just meant to coach. I mean, that's who you are, and you're a great leader of young men.
Absolutely. And, your age group is not that much more removed, and big success. And here's Michael Lucina, who we saw hit a big home run in the game on Friday.
And that slider, he deals with that one, hits a high fly ball to center field. And into the glove of Miguel Hugas it goes. You hear Steve Phillips, by the way, right there. Not only did he answer the question about Frank Torrey, quick transition right into the replay. That's why we hired a pro to cover this JUCO tournament, and a champion will be crowned in a bit. Like the story of this game is pitching. I mean, Minneberry very good, and obviously holding a team that exploded for 13 runs yesterday in Chipola. Ugas does it again. The other part of the pitching is we've talked a ton about Barrero, Steve, but he has allowed them, Barrero, to stay in this game. And if they're going to come back and win, it's going to be because of Barrero.
Well, one of the things that is a reminder is that for everybody out there is the good bullpen doesn't just hold the lead. Mm-hmm. A good bullpen holds a deficit as well. It allows the offense to chip away and come back in games. So you see so many teams in the major leagues who are so good at coming from behind. They typically have a very good bullpen where they can hold the middle part of the game together, allowing that team to keep coming back and win some games.
Yeah, those high leverage situations aren't just up, and they aren't just tied, but they're down as he pulls his hands in and drives that one toward right field, but foul. Slugging Sam Parker will lead things off.
This will be a good test for Sam Parker because Minneberry throws that high fastball at about 92. We'll see if Parker can't catch up with it.
1-1 the count.
See what I mean? Watch that top hand in his grip there, Darren. That grip of the top hand on the bat right there. I just think maybe if he gets it a little more in his fingertips, that waggle might not be a hitch.
He's got so much presence. The simple-minded baseball guy in me loves the phrase "dream on." You scouts dream on players like this.
But he's a big, strong kid with a swing. I mean, he's got some bat speed. I think if he get that waggle out of there a little bit, it might get him more direct to the ball.
And again, pulls the hands in, shows that strength as he drives it foul.
If there's any
just a little bit
change-up at all.
past 20.
Little change-up right here would be able to get him. He's way out in front pulling it here. You pull the string on him. We haven't seen that from Minneberry yet, but if he has it in the arsenal, now's the time to break it out.
Now it's really the time for it. I mean, really the time. 2-2 hits that one hard on the ground, and that one slips right on through. There's Sam leading it off. Now the tying run will come up to the batter's box for Chipola.
Gets the pitch down in the zone, right? Low ball hitter for sure. Gets one down in the zone, able to pull it through the hole just past Lucina, who can't range over, and he's ranged a lot today. Couldn't get to that one.
Colin Guerra now, 3-1 the score. Pushes that bunt, third base line. Not in time. Bunt for a base hit.
Really nice bunt right there. Sean Duffin at third was off the bag quite a bit with a left-handed hitter, and able to get that bunt down. And when he's moving toward the third baseline and having to throw across his body, going to be a really tough play overall.
So you've got that 2-run lead. Outs are at a premium. Indian River is the home team in this game. That's the 5th hit for Chipola, as they now have one more hit than Indian River State.
Pinch hitter here?
Yeah, Cole Garner gets the call. He's a backup catcher from LaGrange, Georgia. He hits for Seguin.
Bunt right here.
He does square. It is up the third base line, and it is a successful sacrifice bunt. That's what they asked Cole Garner to do, and he did it well.
Jeff Johnson knows his personnel and brings in Garner to be the pinch hitter, and he knows that he can get the bunt down. And what I like is this situation. We saw a lot yesterday. First and second, you're going to bunt the runners over. You bunt it to third base. You make the third baseman give up the bag, making it easy for the runner to advance from second to third. You don't bunt to first base, where the first baseman can charge and get the runner at third. You bunt it to third right there. That was very well executed.
Nick Crosey's had an incredible tournament, and he'll have a chance to keep it going. There's power in that bat for the freshman out of Pine Bush, New York. There's a simple-minded counting way to look at this, and let's see if they're going to talk situation or go to the pen. If, in fact, you're Indian River State College, you think to yourself, now, okay, we have 5 outs we have to get because you just gave me one. And even, Steve, if you trade runners for outs in this inning, you're still leading 3-2.
Right. Yeah. I think, this is going to be an interesting situation because Minneberry, remember, you're getting another look there, and it's all fastballs. So as a hitter, you've been able to have an at-bat. You've been able to time him a little bit right now. And the second time getting a look at him might be a little bit of an advantage for the Chipola hitters.
So we'll see how versatile he can be. And I think the reason I made that point earlier is you'd love the strikeout, don't get me wrong. It'd be wonderful, but you don't have to put yourself in a bind to chase it. You give up a lazy fly ball, another run scores. Now it'll take a single to tie the game. So Nick's chance. Down a pair. Ground ball. Play it on a backhand. It goes into center field. Beautiful contact. We are tied. And Slick Nick gets it done.
A lot of hits in the middle of the field, and I like that approach, right? Going right back up the middle with it. And a pitch out over the plate. Doesn't try to do too much. Get it just beyond the leaping Minneberry on the mound. Can't quite get there. And big base hit, driving into the run. 3-3 score right now. And, I would have loved to have seen Nick Crosey get to second base. When that throw got through the cutoff man to the plate, I would have loved to have seen him get to second base and put himself in scoring position.
Well, Minneberry came after it. He lived and succeeded and died with the same stuff, staying true to who he is with a really good fastball. And to Nick's credit, he did not overswing. He just used the entire diamond, put it in play, and it was devastating. 3-3.
3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, work!
My bat's better than any other bat I've used last year. This bat just had no pop than any other wood bat that I ever used. Wood bat league gonna go crazy this summer. And these bats are absolutely juiced.
Comeback is on, and so the call to the bullpen has been answered by Andres Barroso, a sophomore from Key West, Florida. Quick description of what he throws. Sinker, 86 to 88, a changeup, a slider. He gets a lot of movement. And he's not afraid to work inside with that two-seam fastball. That's how he describes himself on the mound, and so he gets the call. Derek Gonzalez, a speedy catcher. That one misses outside, a much lower arm angle too, as we see. Skied, center field, tracking. Got a beat on it now, able to make the play out there is Patton.
Just missed that one. I mean, he got a lot of it and just missed getting all of it. Able to give it a ride out to center field a little bit, just a little bit under it, giving Patton the time to get back underneath it. Good base running right there as well, as Crosey getting himself almost all the way to second base in case that ball fell in.
That's the tough part, and we saw it go into play against Derek Gonzalez. That can be such a tough angle to deal with, especially if it hits that pivot and it is on its downward plane. But if it flattens out up out over the plate, very, very hittable. And that's what happened to Gonzalez.
When I would face these low three-quarter sidearm right hand, I was as a left-handed hitter, the low three-quarter, I would tell myself, keep that shoulder closed and think about driving it to left field, right? They throw the two-seamer that's going to sink away from you. You really have to stay on that pitch on the outer third.
Runner's going to take off. Crosey in with the slide. He stole that one on the pitcher. Tough to make it close. He got a really nice jump. Ashley got tangled up just
tough
a
throw.
bit.
Tough throw right there for a catcher to be able to gun down a runner. And still made it close. Looks like Matt Lashley might have, on the tag, the slide might have gone into his wrist a little bit, bent it funny. Hopefully nothing major going on with that.
Last two plate appearances have been walks for Luke Williams. Struck out back in the first inning. Chipola has tied this game up. 3-0.
You see what I mean, though, about the movement on that pitch, the tailing away from the left-handed hitter, that if you open up and pull off a little bit, you're not going to be able to handle that pitch on the outer third. You really have to stay closed and think about driving it over the shortstop's head.
Just showed bunt. Trying to force ball 4, so now 3-1 the count. You won't see that bunt again. Trying to give Chipola the lead. He pounds that one off the turf. Takes a tough hop on across the throw, and a nice effort there, but not enough. A head first slide, and Chipola leads it.
Well, that was a heck of a play by Matt Lashley up the middle. I mean, it was a do or die. The chopper, did everything he could to be able to try to get it. Good hustle down the line by Williams to be able to get in. And he's hustling all out, going down the line right there. And good decision-making as well. Anthony Marks, third base coach, sending Croce around from second base all the way in to score on the play. Very heads-up play and aggressive on Chipola's part.
0-1 the count on the dangerous two-way player, Miguel Hugas. Yeah, you knew when Matt came across, it was going to be difficult. You've banged the drum so much, Steve, for contact during our broadcast, and contact has paid off. By the way, this is the power that we saw yesterday of Hugas.
Yeah, switch hitter. I mean, really, and that was an easy stroke. That was easy power out of the ballpark. That wasn't a guy grunting and trying to muscle it up. That was an easy swing and just letting the mechanics do the work.
And swipe themselves another bag. That one zipped on top of the bag. A beautiful throw now. Weatherspoon got out front of that one, guns down to Williams, but not before Williams used his speed to leg out a decisive infield single and give Chipola a 4-3 lead. They played at 3 in this frame. Panama City Beach, Florida, 4-3. Chipola, 2 Floridians, if you're talking about rosters. 2 junior colleges in the great state of Florida. 1 from Fort Pierce, 1 from Mariana. That's Chipola. And a new arm in Collier Barham, who gets the chance out of Oak Ridge, Louisiana. Again, this doesn't happen without Barrero. He was incredible out of the bullpen, Ismael Barrero. And we mentioned it, Steve. If in fact, and now Collier's got a big shoes to walk into, but if in fact they do hold on and win it, they win it because of the work out of the pen of Ismael Barrero.
Absolutely. There's no question about that. It's going to be very interesting to see if they can't hold it down right now. But listen, another strong offense in the river, 7-0, and they do it because they've got some guys that can swing the bat.
Collier from Oak Ridge, Louisiana. The Louisiana Knights, his travel team. His foe, Jason Lashley. Arm, the son of Camille and Barry, as that one is rolled foul. Used to pitching later in games, so a guy that he loves to watch pitch is Edwin Diaz. Out to second. 1 away. Garrett Avanek for the first out. Matty Davis dealing with the closer. Goodness, 0-1.
Yeah, it's just a young guy getting aggressive, making a decision. I'm going to swing at this first pitch, and chased one up and out of the zone.
And we're seeing some giddy up. Looking at some of the radar readings, seeing 92, 93 already from Collier. So much fun to see the evolution of any sport as that one is rolled up the third base line, charging, but it got a piece of his foot. It was a foul ball. Yeah, just got
I thought so too. I thought he got his foot, but he hesitated, and then he didn't get the call from the home plate umpire, so he started running, thinking, oh, wait, I thought it got me, but nobody seemed to call it. Now, the first base umpire, Kerry Day, did an excellent job coming forward and making the call.
Slider, another chance at third. Grossi, 2 away. Now it's Chipola counting down those outs with the lead. They've got 4 to get to the victory.
Let's go!
Scout Simpson was after the first one. It's lifted in the friendly tight confines, so it's foul and out of play. Just to finish the thought, I love how through your lifetime, my lifetime, the game has changed. It used to be down and away, sinkers, everything on the outer half. Now the pitcher really believes in a high fastball and spin. You go back 20 years, you'd never see a pitcher pitch like the pitching is today. And it's fun to see. Into left field it goes. Because it seems to be darn effective. Collier proves it. Believe in the fastball, spin the fastball, get him to commit. And the man who usually closes things out for Chipola edges them closer.
Players want to maximize their potential.
They are chasing the wrong thing.
Being better is personal.
What works for one player doesn't work for all players.
Players need to be told what they're good at, what they're not good at, and what they need to work on.
They need to be given a personalized plan to help them get to where they want to be.
That's how players get better.
That's how they maximize their potential.
That's how they become great.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us as we build the future of intelligent players.
The weather is warm and it's the perfect time of year to cook outside. Loco Smart Temp Griddles provide precise and controllable griddle surface temperatures ranging from 250 degrees all the way up to a sear setting. The cooking temperature always stays exactly where you set it, so your meal always comes out just right. Cultivating great experiences is part of our DNA, and everyone has a seat at our table, so pull up a chair. Cook faster and party longer with Loco Cookers.
Another reason to get Perfect Game TV. Look, we've talked about PGTV's 25-game high school coverage coming up winter and spring. And as part of that coverage, we'll see new Hall of Famer Billy Wagner twice on our air. He's a successful high school coach these days. His Miller School team out of Charlottesville, Virginia, will travel to Florida to take on powerhouse Marjorie Stoneman Douglas March 12th. And on March 28th, he'll face rival James Madison High School. Hall of Famers on Perfect Game TV. Hit that QR code, you bet. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, glad to have you back. I think a lot of people forget, Steve, to talk about the fact that Billy Wagner gives up his each day, night, and morning to coach high school baseball. We're going to see him do the Hall of Fame tour this year, but he loves his athletes. He loves his current job.
I am so happy for him, too. And, you know, I don't understand why it took 10 years to finally get him into the Hall, but I'm so grateful that as it got more and more talked about and discussed, that people started to realize he was one of those dominant pitchers of his era, and so happy to see him in there. And I love that he gives so much back to the game.
Just off the plate, 1-1 the count. Yeah, it's going to be a busy time for him because he's not about to miss games. And he's not about to miss developing his kids. He's going to be burning the candle at both ends. On one end, being treated like a king. On the other one, handling young men. Boy, he went down and got that pitch and flips it into left field for a base hit. He continues to impress. Ugas.
He really does. His quality of his at-bats. He can hit the low ball. He can hit the high ball. And he hits right-handed and left-handed. I mean, you're talking about a guy that really is just a quality hitter all around. and certainly a guy I'm sure the scouts are going to continue to watch because he's got a real knack and feel for getting the good part of the bat to the ball.
And he's going to try as long as he can to remain a two-way player. Pitch quality innings and use that bat. We'll see if it takes him as certainly a potential draft pick this year. See what happens at the pro levels. Excited to see him. Keep looking him up, folks. Miguel Hugas, worth your time. J.C. Vanek jumps ahead of 1-0. Miguel on a hit and run takes off, throw down, nearly held on and popped the tag down. But a hit and run that didn't come to fruition ends up being a stolen base.
Yeah, pitch was tailing outside. Vanek at least put a swing in on it. And Jake Weatherspoon has done a nice job on some pitches that have been tough to throw. But quick release, they get it down there on the hop. Just couldn't be handled by Lashley at second. And Hugas gets in safely, now in scoring position.
Or did he? Oh, did he just get a piece of that one? Okay.
I guess they moved him back, huh?
Yeah, they sent him back. He must have just got a piece of that. There was really no indication initially. The umpires getting their head together. Starr and Day sending him back to first. All right. Michael Molinax steps in. Will take this at bat through. The perfect game All-American. One of the best players in all of junior college. They get the lead runner. Molinax is on. Pounded that one into the turf. So what we thought was a stolen base and a chance to add on ends up now being with one out and Molinax on first. Nice play here by the center.
Good job getting the lead runner right there. That's not an easy play. You know, you see the base runner coming by you as you're fielding the ball. You think to yourself, am I going to have time to quickly make the transfer? So many times guys will juggle it, but he was able to get the out.
Pulls the hands in, hits it hard. Gobbled up on in time, and that will do it. Getting closer for Chipola. They lead it by a score of 4-3 as they race Sam Parker. And we roll on. Steve and Darren, things got fast and furious, Steve, in that last half. Hugas obviously got on with that flip single. Attempting to steal J.C. Vanek for batter's interference was called out. They sent Hugas back to the bag. Molinax stepped in, took his opportunity as a pinch hitter. The fielder's choice, he reached, and then we had Sam Parker with a firm ground out to second. Happened fast and furious, and that's exactly what happened in the top half of the frame, Steve Phillips.
Yeah, and listen, and the key thing here for Indian River is they got out of it without giving up any runs. They're within a run, and they've got a chance to maybe come back here and at least tie the game up to send it to extras or win it, walk it off.
Goyer Barham with that closer mentality. Nico Lopez, his first foe, singled, scored a run, popped up to short. 1-0 the count. That dugout's alive and well on the third base side and on the first base side too. Out toward short. One away, 2 outs to go.
Barham does a good job, just attack mode, right? Give me strike one. Let me go at them. Dare them to put it in play.
Coleman Garner out there at short. Came in defensively for Seguin. Zips a fastball over the outside. 1-1 strike the count to Sean Duffin. Sack fly and an RBI back in the second inning.
Looking for a base runner.
Did they get it? Tries to sneak it through. There's your base runner. There's your tying run. So a good championship game for the 9-hole hitter. Has played a solid third, single, RBI as well.
And he can run a little bit, too, so you wonder whether or not Frank Torre's got to get him in motion at some point here.
Traditionally, closers don't excel at keeping the runners close. Doesn't mean that everyone does that, so we'll watch. We nearly zipped that one to the backstop. 1-0 the count. Nice play behind home plate by Derek Gonzalez. Red Patton doubled back in the second inning, also walked. 2-0. And again, Gonzalez a wall back behind the plate. It's tough to block fastballs, folks.
It really is, and especially when he's sort of overthrowing it, pulling it where he is there. And, obviously this is going to be a take pitch right here for Brett Patton.
And he takes ball 4. Now, the winning run is on.
Now it's getting interesting.
Some good hitters, too. Really good. Matt Lashley, Jake Weatherspoon, Lucena, who's homered in this event. Collier earns the visit. Fourth year of this event. A household name in Chipola. A team who would love to move themselves back to that spot and head back to the Junior College World Series. Indian River State College. They've been there 3 times. So much fun, Steve, the competitive nature of sport, period, but of junior college baseball. It's February, early February, and these dudes are up against that screen. They really want to win that trophy.
They do, and I got to tell you, they're playing advanced baseball for the first tournament of the season.
Puts that one on the ground. Gobbled up. There's one. Looking to turn it on to first. Chipola holds on. They are the victors of the Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. It's a Chipola weekend.
What a great visit to the mound. He said, how about just rolling a double play right here? And sure enough, they do it. Barham goes first pitch, fastball in the zone. Lastly, grounder to Guerra over to Seguin. They turn the double play. Chipola the winners.
That's wonderful. My goodness. Both these teams, all weekend long. They've put on a great show. We're going to send them off to represent junior college baseball, but I'm telling you this right now, this event never, ever disappoints.
It really doesn't. You've got determined young players. You've got great coaching, great preparation, great talent, athleticism, and what a fun weekend.
There's that championship trophy. That's a cool moment, too. They ran that trophy right out to the field. Wonderful. Here you go, Steve.
Well, he gets the fastball over the plate, and Lashley hits it hard ground ball to second base, and a nice turn. Garrett gets to it quickly, and a strong return throw. Josiah Seguin all the way over to J.C. Vanek. They walk it off. They win it. What a win right there. 4-3 win for Chipola over Indian River, and two teams that are going to be heard of a lot this year. Two very good schools.
At Gulf Coast State, the host school of this event, they went 2-1. They only allowed 7 runs overall. And they played well. Eastern Florida State went 2-1. Meridian Community College, Pearl River, Dyersburg State. You know, one of the teams that I find interesting is John A. Logan from Southern Illinois, Steve. They get out and they play their first ever game outdoors, and they beat this team. They beat Chipola. And even though they went 1-2, I think for a team like John Logan, that means a lot.
Great for building a program and for future recruiting as well, to be able to compete with some of the big boys, the big programs, and have some success, and to be able to come down and participate in such a prestigious tournament over the course of the weekend. It speaks volumes for the program, and continue to grow and develop and build confidence early in the season.
Handing out some of the hardware. They just shared who the winners are, and there you go. A.B. Austin Brown. He was the MV pitcher of this one. Austin Brown was outstanding. The young man out of O'Fallon, Illinois, Triad High School. And they celebrate with him. Congratulations to Austin Brown. And now the Don Sutton Most Valuable Player Award. No surprise, is it, Steve? He was incredible the whole event. He also hopped up on the mound to Miguel Hugas.
He really can swing the bat from both sides of the plate, came up in the clutch and helped lead this team back to victory today. They were behind early, came back, they found a way to win, and what a great start to their season.
We love our production team. Everyone did a wonderful job, whether it be Steve Banta's team in Orange, California, my good friend and great voice of baseball, Steve Phillips. The gig is up. We'll be honest with you. We're all over the country. We're not in Panama City Beach. In Connecticut, I'm in Arizona. Our streaming partners at Be Live, Chloe and Bria, the leadership on campus there to help us with all the information. And then the coaches. They asked their players, Steve, to fill out biographical surveys for us. They introduced themselves. These coaches doing a really good job. There's a lot of people to thank, and we thank all of the people that did the lifting to get this on the air. We do it for the athletes. We do it for the baseball fans. We want to lift up the work of these great junior college athletes. Grab Perfect Game TV if you're watching online. Go ahead and put it from your app store onto your smart device. This is what we do all the time, and we're really proud of lifting up the future of the game. He's Steve Phillips. I'm Darren Sutton. Enjoy the entire college baseball season. Until then, we'll see you soon at a ballpark near you.